Okay, let's get right to it. We'll be discussing the potential winter storm now for late Monday of next week into Tuesday, then even the potential for more snow after that. But really, we're going to focus on the storm system for early next week. Right now, what I'm showing you is the GFS computer model. And this is the 500 millibar winds. And I'm hoping you can recall back to last week when we talked about the strong winds that were coming into southern Minnesota at the mid and upper levels of our atmosphere. And that was a big concern for us because that was likely going to draw in some warmer and drier air into the storm system last week, and it did. Well, this coming week, or at least early next week, we're not, at least it doesn't appear that we're going to have that issue. Because take a look at this. These are the winds at 500 millibars, and this is for Tuesday afternoon. And it's very clear where the strong mid-level winds are located early next week. They are well south of Minnesota, stretching from Kansas northeast to Illinois and Indiana. So that puts us on the northern side of those strong winds, which means we likely will not have warm, dry air being entrained in the storm system, and we should be cold enough for snow, and we should have certainly enough moisture around that snow is going to accumulate. The jet stream winds, this is the river of air at about 30,000 feet, shows that we have northwest winds coming out of Canada all weekend. This is on Sunday. So it's definitely going to be cold through the weekend. It's also going to lay the ground for snow next week because bitter Arctic air is going to be in place early next week because of that cold Arctic air coming out of Canada is just going to sit here over the weekend. And then look, our winds turn to the southwest in the upper levels of our atmosphere as we head into early next week. But if you like snow, this is good news here because even the strong jet stream winds, or what we call the jet streak, you can see one jet streak here, is south of Minnesota in Missouri and Illinois. And that puts us in this zone right here, which is an area of diffluence or weak winds, and this is where storms like to develop. So based on this jet structure for next week, this is Tuesday, there should be a healthy storm system that develops over Iowa and southern Minnesota and then heads northeast into Wisconsin. Last map I'm going to show you, at least upper level map that I'm going to show you from the GFS computer model, is the 850 millibar temperatures. And it's pretty obvious that we have Arctic air over all of the upper Midwest. Look at this. This is a deep pool of Arctic air, bitter cold air that's sticking around through the weekend. This is Saturday and here's Sunday. Still a lot of Arctic air around, but warmer air is trying to move northeast into the upper Midwest as we head into Monday. And it's that clash of air masses that is going to produce our snow for Tuesday. And you can see we're dangerously close to the rain snow line. So if there's one red flag with this system right now, it would be that we may be very close, if not in a rain snow or mix line here in southern Minnesota. And that would include the Twin Cities, Eau Claire, Rochester. The further south you go, the more likely there is going to be for a mix or some ice. So if you're down in the I-90 corridor, Albert Lee, Rochester, you stand a much better opportunity for ice as we head into Monday night and Tuesday. Okay, this is the GFS computer model, and I'm going to show you some snow charts. These are predicted snow totals for the next not only 5 days, but we're going to probably go almost 10 days in advance. This is GFS computer model. This is through next weekend, and the reason why I'm showing you this is that the GFS computer model isn't backing off much on snow. Of course, as we head into Monday, still very little snow. In fact, no snow over southern Minnesota between now and Monday. But look at what happens Monday night and into Tuesday. The GFS computer model shows a solid 4 to 5 inches of snow, less as you go south of the Twin Cities, but a solid 4 inches of snow up and around the Twin Cities airport. That would be by midday Tuesday. And then as we go through time, as we head into Wednesday and Thursday, another storm system rolls over Minnesota, and that could dump another healthy snowfall over the Twin Cities, so that by next weekend, this is by Friday of next week, and into next weekend, almost 8 inches of snow predicted by the GFS computer model over MSP International. Now let's take a look, and I'm going to really start honing in on this graphic. This is the European computer model graphic for snow totals, and this is just for Monday night into Tuesday. Okay, again, so this is the European computer model from Monday night into Tuesday. All right, and these are the snow totals that I'm likely going to start to latch onto as I put out my snow predictions this weekend. But you can see Twin Cities right in the axis of heaviest snow by Tuesday evening. We're talking somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 to 8 inches of snow being predicted by the European computer model. That might be a little robust, a little optimistic, but I do believe that this storm system for early next week has the potential to drop a good 4 to 8 inch solid band of snow right across the Twin Cities metro. And again, if there is one caveat or one red flag, it is that this snow band could easily shift a little bit further north, and we could get into a rain, snow mix, or ice scenario here in southern Minnesota, including the Twin Cities. But right now, I think it's going to be cold enough for significant snow over the Twin Cities, on east through Eau Claire, and then even as far south as Rochester. And then as you get right along I-90, that's when snow totals taper off quickly and you start getting into ice. And that would be down near Albert Lea and Rochester, where I think the ice scenario is much more likely than as you head north towards Twin Cities and St. Cloud. So we're going to look at the travel impact graphic. Now, this hasn't changed much, but one thing I did want to show you is that I bumped, or I nudged the moderate area a little bit further north, just a touch, about 30 to 50 miles further north than what I had it yesterday. But clearly the Twin Cities and all of our area clearly in the moderate risk for a travel impact, which means we're likely going to have problems early next week. And as you can see, this ice potential area has moved a little bit further north, and I am very concerned that the I-90 corridor is going to experience some ice Monday night and into Tuesday. The last graphic I wanted to show you, and you'll be getting this in the email as an attachment, but this, of course, is the trigger graph. And you can see that my confidence for snow, and for ice that matter, goes up significantly as we head into Monday night and especially Tuesday. So Tuesday morning seems to be the most likely time for significant snow in our region. I would say from a timing standpoint right now, you go from about 6 p.m. Monday night until about noon Tuesday. That will be the window from the heaviest snow. And of course, we'll fine tune that as we get into this weekend and early next week. And then, of course, I've been touting the fact that it's a busy and active weather pattern. You can see even more snow potential for later Wednesday into early Thursday. So an active week coming up next week. I hope you got your rest this week, because there's no doubt, it appears now, that we are going to be busy for a good chunk of next week. Have a good night and weekend.